Hello everyone. Today I have another new guest, and this guest from Nepal, and he is a scholar. He has book, and he do a lot of research and many interesting activities in the research arena and academic arena. And he is trying to figure out the truth of the nature, truth of the words, and by this way he is getting a lot of knowledge, and he is trying to explore this knowledge with World Talent Economy Forum. So welcome, Mr. Bhawani Shankar. So how are you today?
Thank you. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay. So can you please introduce yourself and your book with our audience?
I'm Bhawani Shankar Adhikari from Nepal, and I'm currently teaching English in Nepal Sanskrit University in Balmiki in Kathmandu. And I have written almost uh, 4 books individually, and this is the Eco-Fearism, the 5th book we have introduced with three people, right? Uh, Desubba, Usinakachi, Akumakalu, and myself. So this is what we thought. Eco-Fearism is the title of the book, and we thought it is a global issue, and someone must bring in the form of the text, in the form of the book, since no one has no one has brought any concept, any principle regarding eco-fearism, eco-philosophy. There are many articles, many books written, many texts are produced, other authors have produced, but still this is what unwritten, trust. This is what we think the first philosophy we have brought, first idea we have brought, and ecology and environment must be balanced with human beings. And then when we fail to balance the ecological condition, eco position, and we ourselves become the victim, we ourselves suffer. And why not to give the global concept to the global people, to global citizen, to concern about it? It is our main motive is to make them aware, make the people aware. Everybody knows that there is a problem. There is global warming is the result of eco condition, eco failure of managing or controlling this eco condition. But what happens? People know but ignore. See, there is one idea. What people say? People say they know, but they do not know exactly. So we must say only the things that we know, and we must not say without knowing that we know, right? So this is in unconscious level, people think they know that it is going to happen, it is a problem in the world, it is a great issue in the world, but they do not come in the action of managing it. It is our responsibility to manage, right? It is our duty to manage eco condition
Mr.
and the life, right?
Yes, Mr. Bhavani, can you check your yes.
uh
Can
what's
you hear
wrong?
me?
Yes, it's all right. I'm listening.
Okay. Okay. Okay, please continue. Please continue.
Okay, it's all right. And then what we thought, see, once there was 4 months, maybe 5 months in Australia, fire was continued in the forest, right? And that fire was continuing in the forest in Australia. World, just governments, world, uh, other scientists and people thought it was the only one problem of Australia. They did not realize it was the problem of the world. It was the problem of the globe, because large number of animals, large number of wild creatures burned down in the forest, right? And it was not only the end of the forest, rather the collapse, buckle, death of the animals, right? In that 4 or 5 months forest, continuous forest fire in Australia. And every year, almost all came Amazon forest, there goes on firing, right? Getting fire and animals get death. And only last time I heard there were 350 elephants. They were found dead in Africa, right? Did they die naturally, or just I got this in from BBC News. Did they die naturally, or somebody made that sort of accidental death to the animals, to those elephants, right? And this, if we do not become very conscious, if we do not become really aware of preserving these animals, these creatures, and there would be the disaster that strikes to us, that happens to us. That is what we have to face later on. Maybe this coronavirus is one of the result of imbalancing of ecology and environment, right? See, we are unknown about the condition of the earth. Many people, now the world has been computerized, and people just do not allow the water resources, rainwaters, to go down into the soil. Rather, they send the water in the drains, and they throw it out. What happens to the condition of the earth if we go on just making holes, make boring just the holes in the earth? And see, if we do not care this earth very sincerely, if we do not love the earth, and if we do not preserve these situation of the whatever happening in the world, and the misfortune comes very soon to the humanity. The mountains, Himalayas, are not really in natural form. They have almost gone. They have been destroyed. They have been polluted. They have been just see thrown number of plastics and other bottles and whatever the tourists take there with them. They leave those things there, and when they leave these things in the mountainous areas, wherever it is snowy areas, these are decreasing day to day. And if we do not become conscious on time, now maybe this is what we have to suffer greater tragedy. The world may just not in the form of just whimper. It may in the form of bang, right? It may come at once, the collapse of the world. So why we human beings, as really conscious, really superior being, that is what we claim ourselves than other animals, is it not our responsibility? Is it not our just duty to save the other, those animals who do not have any sense, right? See, and we are always see, animal right fighters are also there, but they are just bringing their logic, their thoughts, their principles, but authorities, but governments, whatever, whoever are there in power, they ignore it. There are experts, ecological experts, and they bring the ideas, they just bring their suggestions, they write number of papers and then present papers, do the seminars, shop workshops, but governments only listen and then ignore it until and unless the authority listens sincerely, until and unless the government becomes quite serious to deal with these ecological problems, and it cannot be just properly addressed on time, right? So it is from common level, from lower level to the highest level, from grassroots levels people to the just presidents or the prime ministers of whoever it may be of the world. They have to be work just sincere on time and then conscious about it and work together. It is not only our our just duty to blame only to the governments and others, but we have to give the message to make them aware, and making them aware, right? Making the government aware, making the authority aware is quite essential, right? Our task, everyone, we must do, we must work from our own level, from our own position, to save the ecology, environment, and whatever the condition it is. That is what we must begin. And one step is initiated, started by one individual, can become the example to others, right? See, nowadays the one we can feel only when we have the real problem, right? Suppose one example: if the person if it gets sick, if a person gets really terminating disease like cancer, and he or she feels what the real value of health is. In the same way, only when we feel the real scarcity, real this calamity, real position of the trouble of the ecology, and that harms to the human life, and then and at that time if we start feeling, and that becomes too late, that becomes quite delayed, and it is essential to come on time to just act properly. And I have told you already, we cannot just control everything. We human beings are part of nature, and is a part of nature. What we have to do is only to manage the this position here. We have to manage the our enemies. We cannot, if we start killing all the enemies, that would be wrong, right? We human beings cannot just say solve the earthquake. We cannot solve that volcano. We cannot solve the landslide, but we can manage at least, right? These we can become conscious on time, and then we can be quite safe in the safe zone. So now we need to be in a safe zone by managing ecology, by managing environment, by just we must have a kind of fear in our mind. Until and unless we do not have the fear in our mind, we may not become conscious to preserve these sort of things, and then we may not just be having the better future in our whole generations, right? Yes, we are quite unkind to the animals. And what, let's say, I told you already, if we are in the position of animal, and then we think that human beings are the greatest enemy, right? That is one point from looking the real condition from the animals aspect, right? That's what I told you already, that even fly can realize the human being is the greatest enemy of their life, and they want to just see clear of all the human beings, bringing germs, okay, and then see all the typhoids and other pneumonias in our kitchen, right? That is one okay, animals aspect. So managing ecology and environment means not only managing the forest, right? Last time I heard a news in BBC, 40% forest is being the trees are cut down there in Amazon, right? And see, sorry, 34%. If it continues, what happens? One day there will be desert. One day there will be completely this place where we cannot survive, right? And there are pine trees. We do not have the knowledge, perhaps. Pine trees are really useful for making medicine of cancer, right? Different kinds of pine trees are there, and patients of cancers are taken to the area where the pine trees are around the village. That is what the fresh air that comes from the pine forest can be itself a medicine for the cancer patients, right? That is what is the research people have done. And see, and pine trees we people cut down, and the pine trees seeds are there. That seeds are nourishing food, and they really cost $50 a kg, and we don't know these nature gifted things are there in the nature, and this is what we have to preserve. We have to just save these things. And saving ecology and environment means minimizing chemical use, minimizing of, see, concretizing to the whole world, right? And see, if we go on concretizing, and that concretize does not bring better result, and we must not throw all the water resources, rainwater, to the drain. We must manage those water to go to observe in the soil. That becomes useful, right? That becomes good position for the soils. And see, another point, we have to bring special project, special programs to the farmers, to the common people, to those people who are unknowingly destroying the ecology, unknowingly destroying the earth, and then they are unknowingly producing this poisons through the use of insecticides, through the use of say pesticides, and they use a lot. They use more, and when they use more these without the knowledge of that using pesticides and insecticides, but and they do not have any idea they should keep that pesticides used vegetables, pesticides and insecticides used fruits for the time being, and but they do not think it, they inject it, and they are motivated with the business, and they want to earn more and more money. The faster they produce, and the better, and the greater they want to become rich. This is ignorance. This is what the training should be given to the farmers. And what people, generally educated people, think is that once they are educated, they do not want to start the farming. They do not want to go to the field of these agricultural activities. They think they must have other just jobs, and they need to be superior. But why not to apply the technology over there in agricultural field? Why not to say just really send these experts in the just among the farmers, and then make them change, make them aware, make them say conscious about the misuse of these things, these insecticides and poisonous things bringing in our kitchen and it's spoiling ourselves. See, large number of unknown diseases are coming because of these human mistakes, right? Our ignorance, and ignorance should be solved first. This ignorance is the problem to the workers, to the farm workers, right? That is one case. I have 30. This is what we need to do, right? And this, we, if we raise the voice, if the ecology experts of ecology and other experts who have really realized and felt these set of problems, if they realize it and if they raise the voice in the social media, in the mass, in the to the and it goes automatically to the concerned authority. And when it strikes in the mind of the authority, mind of these governments, and they become just they compel to think about it. They need to think about it. They just need to give attention what the people are thinking, what the people are just bringing the ideas and principles and advising them how to behave. That is what is essential in the world. It is not only in particular place, but throughout the world. That is what we need to do. We need to work, and we need to save this balance this condition. And I told you already, we cannot just do anything else, but at least we need to manage, being humble with the this nature. Nature is not our enemy. We are also the part of nature. So this earth, this planet is for all living beings, for all the creatures. Either they are our enemies or they are our friends, right? We need to just manage these things, and we need to just survive in the same position. There is one essay, there was a story, right? An essay, let's see, that was written, that entitled, the essay's entitle is Sound of Thunder. See, and in that Sound of Thunder, what happens? There were one safari hunter and one safari hunter is introduced in that Sound of Thunder, and that safari hunter is just goes with the help of the machine 60 to 664 million 2055 thousand 55 years back forest with the machine. They create ancient forest, and then they go there. There is a story, Sound of Thunder, and there this safari hunter, his name was Ikal, and he was with the guide, and he was sent there to for hunting, and he had paid $10,000 for his safari, right, to the government, and he was warned not to make a mistake. And if he made a mistake, what happens? There would be the danger, there would be the risk of his life itself, and he had to pay another $10,000 if he made a mistake, right? He was given the warning, and he had to shoot only the particular animals. Which animals were useless? The selected animals. They would be just useless even if they were just killed, and that was to be done according to the guide. But what happened? He had to walk a few inches above above the inches of the surface of the level. He had to walk on the metal path, and he did not have to come out of that metal path. And unfortunately, what happened? He made the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That was, see, the king of dinosaurs. That is what the story, right? And all of a sudden, he was afraid. That safari hunter, and he came out of the metal path, and he had just trodden one butterfly. And that butterfly, when he trodden, okay, when he had trodden the butterfly, right, and then that butterfly died. After the death of butterfly, what happened? The whole ecosystem was changed. The whole life system was changed, and death of single butterfly brought the death of number of other animals, other mice, and death of one mouse was the just see possible 10,000 millions mice birth was just impossible, and death of that one mouse caused again the death of a fox, and death of one fox means that caused that prevented the other possible 10,000,000 thousands birth of fox that after his death, and then elephant, and at last related with the life, and at last what happened? That safari hunter was shot. His punishment was to shoot. He was killed. And that was the sound of thunder to the nature. That was not the only sound came from the gun while shooting. That was a sound. Death of single butterfly brought a great thunder in the whole ecosystem of the world. That is the condition. So saving one butterfly means saving the ecosystem. Killing one butterfly means just bringing the annihilation, destruction of whole ecosystem. So each and every creature, each and every living beings has its importance to go the world in a just better position, in a smooth condition, in a harmonious condition. Otherwise, if we think one insect as our enemy, there would be the disaster. There would come the disaster. That disaster comes not only to other animals, but to ourselves. At last, that disaster strikes to the life of human beings. So it is essential to preserve even an insect. That is what the balancing of ecosystem. Not only forest, rivers, airs, and then seas and other things, so that we have to manage. We have to manage means managing single creature, single insect like butterfly like insect must be preserved to continue the ecosystem, to continue the just better life system of the world. And this is what is essential now. Modern people must think about it. Yes, this is what I think, and this is the idea that we have focused in our eco-fearism, right? This is a hint. This is a philosophical work, and this type of work, this type of this text, this type of information should be given to the lower level school curriculum. That should be put there. And what I think, modern people are becoming unethical, immoral. They are not becoming conscious, and they think if they get money, they become ready to get and do anything else, right? They do not mind even to do the crime, right? So now what I think, we need to introduce moral education in lower school level in our school children, and that moral education should be related with the moral of preserving ecology, moral of preserving this and create all the creatures, moral of saving the life of everything, all the just found all the creatures and just see animals, birds, whatever the species they are found on earth. If we relate that this morality, moral education with the concept of preserving moral care, of preserving ecosystem, that becomes useful, because now these are present children, present school children, young children are becoming the leaders of future, leaders of the world tomorrow, and they will apply this theory, these knowledge, whatever they get. So it is essential to inject these sort of ideas in the soft corner, soft mind of our children, soft this mind of our this school children, so that they can think from the very beginning and start preserving the condition, preserving ecosystem. That would be meaningful. That would be useful. That is what I think, right? The whole world is just becoming very see unimaginable place to live. The see deserts are turning into Greenlands, and many people who live in the Gulf countries, right, they realize the real fact, how difficult it is to live without the trees, to live without water, right? And they have just started taking the soil from other countries and just planting the plants and producing, just changing, converting, right, almost all transforming into Greenland. And we people, where we are living in a green forest, we are living in a better eco condition, better situation, better part of the earth, ignoring it, because that is our weakness. That is what we have not realized. That is what we have not felt. It is only the hungry person knows how much difficult it is to face with the hunger, right? If he or she does not get chance to eat enough food, right? That is the same situation. It is only those people who are facing ecological crisis, is especially in the deserts. They know the value, they know the importance, and they have started planting. They have started converting the real position of them. And but we are not doing so. This is our ignorance. This is our weakness. This is our carelessness. Rather, instead of weakness, it is carelessness, right? Maybe we are not just giving the proper information to the people, and this is the weakness of education too, right? This type of education is essential even to all the level of the people, not only in school curriculum, right? But if we put in a school curriculum, that goes in the society level, that goes in the community level, and the children start talking about these things, and later the people, whole this society feel about it, right? See, and then last time I just was watching the tourism, the scene there of Canada, and number of birds are just tourists visit there in the sea, and they visit there only to take the picture, right? And what happens? There are the birds. They are just laying their eggs on the around the sea, and what they eat the fish, right? And unfortunately, Japan needs the particular species of fish from Japan, Canada, and they need only the female fish, not the male fish. But they fish both male and female. And what happens later? Once the male fish are dead, once they just they fish it and then they select it. And in selection, only female are exported in Japan. They need it, okay, only female. Maybe they have the better test of female than the male. And later on, millions of male fish are thrown again back to the sea. That is a destruction. That is not
Yes,
the
yes,
real
yes,
good position.
yes. I understand, Mr. Bhawani. I want to ask you a question. Can you
Yes,
hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
yes, please.
Yes. In present
Yes.
conditions, I want to know, and our audience want to know, what's the present situation in Nepal, especially in COVID-19 situations. How Nepal government and Nepal people, and especially the ecosystem of Nepal, handle the COVID-19 situation.
It's all right. Maybe we Nepalese people are luckier, I think, till the date, all right? because though it is maybe it is government handled well, or maybe another case, right? It is lockdown that did good work. Up to now, there are only 49 people, okay, lost their life from COVID-19, right? Only 49 from till today, and then 19,000 people are infected, but out of 19,500 maybe from today's news, and out of that only 5,000 people are seriously just okay in the condition, suffering in critical anyway with the coronavirus, and other people are cured. They fought it. They are able to just defeat the coronavirus, and they have gone home, right? This is a good news, right? And in comparison to in India, right? See, there is a better condition, maybe smaller population. We have only right 3 million people there, small population, and then coronavirus has come especially overcome by the patients infected, coronavirus infected people. They have overcome 72% people, okay, have overcome. This is the data, right? And then
Mhm.
that is what they have recovered. 72% patients have recovered coronavirus,
Hello.
right? And those 500, around 5,500, maybe 5,500, they will also just get recovered sooner or later. Maybe I think this has become a kind of okay research now. We need to have the research. Why? In comparative comparison to the Western countries, Western like America and in Brazil, maybe, and even these other countries, Asia as a whole, Asia is a little bit safer. Why it has become so?
I understand.
Less
I
number of the
understand.
death, right?
Yes, yes, I understand. I understand. My question is specific about that. At present world, we are moving with industrializations. We are moving with
Yes.
fourth industrial revolutions. We are moving with a smart city and different kind of projects. What's going on in Nepal and how actually when this kind of development, government, policymaker, scientists, researchers, as well as big corporations, they think that this will be the ultimately good approach for for developing the human being, developing the civilizations. What do you think? How do you want to compare in between corporate development, like smart city development, and your ecofearism concept? How you compare these things?
Especially when I talk about Nepal, these corporate development sectors are and smart cities are not so much as it has taken place there in Malaysia and in other nations, right? Very few case cities are there. Only 3, 4 smart cities have a government already made, and it's just they have been already constructed, and others are under construction process. But comparatively, most of Nepalese people, they have just gone abroad for their work, and ecologically and ecosystem, what I think, the many land right areas, these hilly areas and other areas are in better condition because they have left to keep for cultivation. They have gone abroad, they have gone in the work outside the nation, and many local villages areas are with full of trees, with full of see ecosystem, with full of this fertile ground. They have stopped using it, and but unfortunate is that Nepal has to import many things from abroad, from other countries, even grains and other things. Ecologically it is good, right? But what we Nepalese people have to do is that we have to start organic type of farming. We need to learn organic farming, and then we need to just produce the grains not with the destruction of just ecology, forest, and all these things. And we must learn the things from other nations, and we must change. better better farming system we should start even in Nepal. See, one good example is Sikkim, right? They have organic farming there in from Sikkim of Indian, okay, one continent, one part, right, state. There they have started good organic, okay, farming system, and that has become worldwide famous. And if Nepal just can imitate that system, that organic farming system, that there is a possibility of producing worldwide, okay, organic grains. And again, Nepal is the country with full of, okay, possibilities of tourism. See, we don't need so many just infrastructures to build. There are naturally gifted, okay, in this ecologically beautiful, world's most beautiful place. This is what nature has gifted. So if we only manage it properly, and if we just balance it, okay, with the proper system of tourist, okay, sport, and that would be very good income source, and that would be really, okay, preserving the ecosystem to the whole world. Preserving ecosystem of Nepal, ecological condition of Nepal means preserving contribution to the whole world, contribution to the other, okay, this parts of the globe. And we have tea gardens, especially the tea gardens itself become the ecologically quite attractive. That ecosystem does not, okay, hamper with the tea garden, right? People do not use insecticides and pesticides in tea gardens. And recently we have started just these more new generations have started, okay, thinking the farming system differently. They have started, okay, just doing the moringa, cultivation. Moringa is a tree. Again, that moringa again gives a boost to the ecosystem. That is what is becoming positive action in Nepal's, okay, cultivation. And they have avocado they have started, okay, planting. That is, they are the trees. These avocados become again the support for the ecosystem, right? And there are number of just these what we call fruit bearing trees have been, okay, have become the source of income, and people are motivated towards these activities. And I think Nepal has not done so bad for ecosystem. It is doing good. And last time I have written one example given even in that eco-fairism in the book, one eagle protection farming, eagle protection restaurants have been established in Nepal, right, in eastern part of Nepal. And there is the restaurant, and the carcasses of the dead animals are stored, collected there. And in the beginning when it started, people really disliked it, people hated it, people did not want to go near there in the restaurants of the carcasses stored for the eagle, right? But fortunately later on people, okay, got consciousness, and now it has become the place of attraction to all the eagles come gather there, and then they get the, okay, food of the carcasses stored by the, okay, those system. This is one example. This example can be imitated throughout the world. That would be good, okay, point for ecosystem. It is not so harmful so far in Nepal, right? That is what is going
Yes.
on.
Yes, yes, I understand. I understand. Like example, you try to engage with a very interesting research work and very interesting approach you are trying to introduce to our community. My final question to you, like with your ecofairism concept, like what will be the benefit the global people will get? What will be the ultimately objective they can achieve with this concept? What your idea, what your thought?
Yes, that's very good question. You came to the, okay, global issue, and the book Eco-Fearism itself is centered in the global issue. It is not the, okay, particular issue of particular nation, particular area. It is the global issue, and what the global global, okay, citizen have to achieve from this eco-tourism is to manage the ecosystem, and then is to just live the life in harmony with all living beings, with all living things, and then there would be no other tragedy, there would be no other say viruses, maybe unknown viruses will come again, as this coronavirus suddenly came and suffered to the whole world citizens, right? And if people become conscious on time, if they manage the ecosystem, if they make eco-friendly environment throughout the world, if they become conscious of preserving the forest, if they become conscious of preserving the animals, if they become conscious of preserving different types of species of birds and insects, and if they become conscious of utilizing the or making economy through the unknowingly, through the fruit beer, that can become the income source of making papers and others, but bamboo itself becomes the source of managing ecosystem, and fruit bearing other trees anywhere in any corner of the earth. If we manage in that way, naturally the world cannot go in the disaster in future. It can be protected as, and it can run as it is running at present. And global warming may not just take place, and may not be that ozone layer depleted, and we may not get skin cancer, we may not get eye cataract untimely, we may not lose our life, okay, untimely, and we can just save the humanity, we can save the other animals, we can save the planet earth, and we can save as a whole the humanity too. So this is a gift to the human beings to as a whole. The world has to get it. The world citizens have to get the better life cycle, better life system, better position even in future. It may not just deteriorate as it is, as it has deteriorated at now, at present. It may not deteriorate more, and then we may not become the victim in future. As I have pointed out, there is Easter Island is there. It was Easter Island, and people did not understand the real ecosystem, and they cut down all the trees. They finished all the animals there in Easter Island. Still, the Easter Island is one example. There are statues of stones, long, big statues are there. Still, the history is there. The research is going on, but Polynesian society, the people who lived there did not have knowledge, and they vanished. And now it has become only the history. Perhaps they did not have any history. They did not have any knowledge of just death or demise of total people, total islands, people population. And if we have this sort of information on time, if we know these knowledge, if we keep these knowledge on time, we start doing positive activities. We work, we initiate just with the fear of our own death, of our future generations' death. We have that sort of fear in our conscience, in our mind, and we stop doing harmful, destructive activities ourselves. If one individual starts working positively, if one individual starts doing, preserving the things, preserving the nature, preserving whatever the animals or species from his effort, and all the human beings from the total global citizens just initiate that, that becomes the model, and they start preserving. And as a whole, it is not single effort, it is the effort of the global citizens. It cannot be preserved with one citizen, one person. Global citizens should be quite aware, quite active. That's why it is a good knowledge for them, good information for them. That is what I think.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. There is a specific question from Sohail Rana. He said Nepal was doing very well in the fast place to prevent COVID-19. But what could be the reason for the increase in the number of cases?
Yes, it is increasing, and then maybe we don't know. Again, we should not get satisfaction with the position, whatever it is right now. And why, when Nepal was in good condition, and in the similar condition was Brazil, right? Brazil's condition also was very similar with the Nepal in the beginning. But suddenly, automatically see the death rate how much it has reached in Brazil, second to America. So this increasing number, maybe it was because of the lockdown in the beginning, and maybe many Nepalese are in abroad and they are returning to the nation, and with their return may come the coronavirus with them too. So it is essential by the government and by each and every individual or Nepalese citizen to become quite sincere, quite conscious, and then they should follow all the safety measures. They should follow the rules, since there is no vaccine, no alternative to solve it, to fight against coronavirus. There is willpower we must have, and we must fear. Still, this is the time to fear. And that is what with the fear, we must apply the safety measures. We must use masks, we must use gloves, we must use sanitizers, we must maintain social distancing, we must have the fear in the conscience. And Nepalese people at present are not in fear. They are not scared with maybe they do not have the concept that they do have the concept that the coronavirus is nothing, because people have not have faced it. They have recovered it. They have overcome with it, and they may have the psychological feeling that we can fight it. It doesn't matter. But that will be the fatal weakness.
We have a specific question, because there are audience, they are asking you a question that if Nepal is facing any economic challenges to prevent COVID-19, so what is the policy they will take to making a relationship in between South Asia?
Maybe it's all right. South Asian. It's Nepal is still is a small country, but and a small country doesn't have small vision. And whatever the country may be, if the better vision is kept by the nation, that is a better mind, and that gives the example to the South Asian countries, South Asian people, that how it is to be just handled with the coronavirus and with the crisis. And better, maybe the psychologically, when people feel right, there is a risk, and they become conscious, and that becomes an example to learn. But economically, this let's see, one another positive point it has come in Nepal at present. Almost all people used to center in the town, and they were busy in business and other activities. But fortunately, after lockdown, people went to their villages where their original houses were, and then luckily they just engaged in the cultivation and farming. And perhaps this year the economically grains production is higher. Perhaps all they have paddy plantation has gone well.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Yes. I want to know, as you are working as a professor for Valmiki University, and what's the educational situation right now? How students actually get involved with the education system? What's the internet condition in Nepal? What's the online education system right now happening? And specifically the education system and the student present condition, we want to know.
Yes, this is what new system has. This is an opportunity to the country like Nepal, right? And see, in the village area, there is no better internet condition, net position, right? But in the town areas, almost all the education system is going on through online, using either Zoom or Team, right? There are many devices, and we are conducting the education through the home, right? And some of the colleges have established a studio, right? And their teachers go, and from the studio, just they provide their education system. And it is what it has affected, no doubt. But this has brought a new system to be learned, to be adopted with the world technology. That is what the teachers and students now are getting the just say real how to handle these devices, right? People who never used before, now this coronavirus brought a lot of opportunity. In the same way, maybe now paradigm shift throughout the world. This is a good system. It is only in the town areas it is going on. in village area there is no net facilities, no network facilities, no working infrastructure. And we naturally feel right but it has become it for education system even in Nepal. And maybe now this is what the system should be continued even after coronavirus. This is what the government authority has to think about it, and they have compelled to think about it. And universities have just started giving education through team, and especially team, right? Not that Zoom. It is they have applied. Universities have applied team, and Kathmandu University is there in Nepal, a separate university. There are many universities, and Kathmandu University even conducted exam through this online system, right? That is what going on. Maybe it is a better system that they are learning now.
Yes, you are talking about ecosystem, ecofearism, and most importantly, the green ecosystem. I want to know, like example, because many audience response come and they try to know about the Nepal present situation, like for energy sectors, as well as for these technology sectors. What type of technology right now Nepal government and Nepal people adopting, and what is the impact you are observing right now?
It's all right. It's good. And one, energy production, Nepal has really, I told you already, the gift of the nature. If it is possible to just produce hydropower, is the only one best energy production system. This is the best one. There are maybe more than 5 or 10,000 rivers, and the water resources, maybe the best water resource, second to Brazil, is in Nepal. Second to Brazil, and this is what investment in hydropower is going on well. Maybe after a few years, maybe after a decade or 2 decades, there will be enough in this hydropower electricity energy production, right? And if it goes, if it really 82,000 megawatt hydropower electricity is possible to produce only from the rivers. That is what the investigation it has been. And there is wind power electricity is also possible through the Himalaya areas, right? That would be other ecosystem preservation. We don't have to use that uraniums and other energy production system. And when this hydropower really applies, there really becomes a practical production, complete production of 82,000 right megawatt, and that becomes the complete source of income, like oil, right? The Gulf countries are getting income source, right? That will be quite fortunate. The country naturally really fortunate. Naturally, even herbals are there. Number of herbals, uncountable, maybe innumerable herbals are still not found. So this is the zone of herbal production, since it is on the lap of Himalaya, lap of mountains, ranges, right? And this is very energy production and herbal production, medical production systems are there. And perhaps only the lacking is policy making. Only the problem is willpower. Only the problem is technology. That is what we need to apply, right? Only the absence. The problem that the country faces is maybe if I just feel it. Really, I feel what other people feel. This is the lack of just strong leadership, like Lee Kuan, who made Singapore really Singapore, and strong leadership like Mahathir, who made your Malaysia as a Malaysia. I need that sort of leader. That is what I hope, and maybe that sort of leader may come sooner or later. They are there in the country. That is the lacking point. Otherwise, country is really in naturally better position, ecologically better position, and just energy source that maybe from hydropower and other energy sources, that will be really better position and
Yes,
God, right?
yes,
They
yes,
have perhaps learned a lot of skills, a lot of skills.
yes,
Many technical people, technological skill having people are in Europe, in America. If they come back, if these, that is called inherent. If that technique is applied, technology is applied, it doesn't take much time, but only
yes,
determination of leadership
yes,
is required,
yes.
policy is
Okay,
required.
okay.
Doesn't take much time to go ahead.
Okay, okay, okay. I have a specific question
Yes.
from Faizana. She asked you, is there any significant step Nepal take to prevent COVID-19 that we can learn? And my specific question is that what's the present condition of Nepal tourism industry? Because Nepal is a beautiful country, many tourists going there. So what's the tourism industry situation?
Yes, it was the 2020 was the tourism advertisement, and this was the destination of the world, right? Nepal government had made a 2020 tourism destination as a Nepal. Unfortunately, this coronavirus, see, dismantled, this destroyed this vision, this dream. But since it is still naturally gifted, beautiful country, maybe even other years, why don't become this dream of tourism, right? But this year badly affected tourism. There is almost zero position is there because the life is much more important than any other activities. So it is Nepalese people now, maybe most of the Nepalese people think anyhow to survive is better than to just do anything else. If there is a protection of life, if there is a safety of life, if people can survive, everything can come later in the better position, right? And we should not just take the risk of tourism at this time, and we should not worry about it too, since it is the natural calamities. We cannot fight against it, but we have to be humble. We have to manage it. We have to face it, and this is what the possibility is still there even in other years. And a specific condition of controlling coronavirus is nothing more than becoming self-consciousness, right? And government can plan why infected people can be just put in the quarantine and just properly taken care there. Only one thing what I think is willpower. That is what strength. If a person becomes sick and goes in the hospital, and well, if he feels that he cannot fight with the disease, and even a healthy person, 99% can lose his life. But willpower, one example of my own prime minister, I take really just his willpower. He just was suffering from his kidney, right? And he was already just transplanted. And this time, really, what happened? I was worried last time when I went in America. At that time, he just got transplanted that kidney. It was his willpower. He was doing dialysis, but later it is because of willpower. He is very healthy now. He is very good. So it is what the willpower, that is what is required to the whole global citizen at present to fight against coronavirus. This is my advice to the world citizens, right? Willpower. And apart from these fear, apart from safety measures, apart from these things, willpower is required, right?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Bhawani, for giving us a very good example of eco-fearism. Most importantly, we learn the environmental conditions in Nepal, as well as different aspect, educational aspect, energy aspect, policy-related things about Nepal. So, World Talent Economy Forums actually want to know different countries cultures, and we are very open to work with the different countries people. So with your contribution, definitely we can understand the values of nature, we can understand the values of the global citizenship, and most importantly our leaders, our policymaker will make proper policy for their countries for prevent from different issues of the world, specifically global warming issues. And thank you for your valuable time, and thank you for your very interesting write-up. And hopefully in future you will write more book you do more research, and with your research and your book, the intellectual society will learn different things and different aspect of the society and nature. And definitely in the future, World Talent Economy Forum will invite you in our session, and we will try to team up with you and with your team for doing a next level of research, for doing next activities for the global citizen. And that is our objective. So the last point is that if you have any final remarks for our audience, you can give.
It's all right. Thank you for your connection with it. And Nepal is another fertile ground for culture, tradition. This is the center of learning now, right? Center of getting cultural varieties of information. There are 125 languages spoken in the country, right? 125 in different cultures. That is what fertile research. And my advice to the whole world is, let's become quite sincere about the eco condition. Let's save the ecology. Let's save it, maintain the earth. Let's love the earth. If we love the earth, our mother earth, and then we are loving ourselves. If we protect the earth, we are protecting ourselves. Let's not make unhealthy our earth, and then let's not expect from making unhealthy earth and healthy food, right? That is what the position, that is what we people have to think about it. Let's save ecosystem, and let's save whole humanity. Let's have the positive here instead of negative here. When positive here really leads us to the success, positive here makes us capable enough, and let whole world citizen be conscious about it. Let's make it better. Thank you very much for your participation too, and for the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhawani, and thank you for your valuable time, and thank you for your very good research. And I want to give special thanks to your co-author, I think Oshna Kachi, and you have many good teams, those who are doing research on that
This
particular
Subba,
book.
right?
Thank you. Yes.
We have done Ushinakachi and this Subba, right? That is what we have done this book. This is first combined project, and we have Dr. Michael Giese from Canada, and we'll see and from again Africa, and Maria from India. Let this movement go ahead. Let this awareness of this movement make whole world aware, and then let's preserve the world. Let's save the world. That is what the motto of our movement, right? And this is not for one nation. This is for whole humanity. Let it be a better future for all the citizens of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. Take care. Be safe. Be safe.
Thank you, dear audience. Thank you for your valuable time and comments.
Okay.